Story, story.
Tell us a story.
Once upon a time, there was a girl called Ma Sabe. Ma Sabe was young and Ma Sabe was wise. She lived with her mother in a little house next to a deep, wide river. A
Deep, wide river.
Every day she worked growing vegetables. They didn't have very much. They had to give money in rent and taxes to the greedy, lying king. One day, Ma Sabe was working, growing vegetables, when the king came. The king was riding on his elephant, a beautiful elephant. He was riding through the land. Now, this king had 300 wives. 300 wives. You know, a wife? Somebody you're married to? I mean, I have one wife. He had 300 wives. And he was always looking for his next wife. And there he saw Ma Sabe working in the field next to the river. He thought, this girl will be my next wife. He rode on his elephant and he came to the little house where Ma Sabe's mother was. And he said, your daughter, from on the elephant. Your daughter, what is her name? Oh, why, O great king, are you asking my daughter's name? I ask you a question, and you ask me a question. I ask you again, what is your daughter's name, everybody?
What is your daughter's name?
My daughter's name is Ma Sabe, but why do you want to know? Ma Sabe, said the king, tomorrow I will come and take your daughter. She will be my new wife. Oh no, my daughter is too young. Now Ma Sabe's mother knew that the king was greedy and a liar. She didn't want her daughter to marry him. She knew he already had 300 wives. Please, is there nothing I can do? Nothing, said the king. You owe me money. You are in debt to me. You must let your daughter marry me. Please, said the Ma Sabe's mother, there must be something. Very well, said the king. Tomorrow there will be a game. There will be a game. Ein Spiel, a game. And the game will decide if your daughter Ma Sabe will marry me or not. And the king on his elephant rode away next to the deep, wide
river.
The deep,
Wide river.
off he went. Well, Ma Sabe came home and she told her mother about the vegetables she had grown, and her mother told her the news. And Ma Sabe's mother was crying. Oh, daughter, I don't want you to marry the king. And Ma Sabe said, don't cry, mother. Tomorrow there will be a game. The next day, the king came back. The king was riding on his elephant. But now the elephant was decorated with beautiful cloth, red and blue and gold. And the king himself was wearing fine robes that shone. And he was wearing a turban on his head. He rode on his elephant, and behind him came his soldiers in uniforms, marching. The king rode along next to the deep,
wide river.
and when the king reached that small house, the king looked, and there was Ma Sabe and her mother. The king got down from the elephant, and he stood in front of Ma Sabe and said, "Ma Sabe, you will be my new wife." Ma Sabe looked at the king, and she wasn't frightened. She had a kind of angst. She wasn't frightened. She looked at the king, and she said, "My mother told me there will be a game." "A game," said the king. "Yes, there will be a game. The game will decide if you marry me or not. Ma Sabe, here is a bag. In this bag there are 2 stones, 2 small stones. One stone is white and one stone is black. Ma Sabe, put your hand into the bag and take 1 stone. If you take the white stone, you don't marry me. And your mother has no more debts. Your mother is free. But Ma Sabe, if you take the black stone, then you marry me. And your mother has no more debts. Your mother will be free. Your mother wins. Either way. Ma Sabe, will you play?" And Ma Sabe's mother said, daughter, don't play. The king is a liar. The king is greedy." But Ma Sabe looked at the king. She looked in the eye, and she could see his heart was cruel. She could see his heart was lying. At that moment, Ma Sabe knew that the 2 stones in the bag, both of the stones were
Black.
Both of the stones were
Black.
2 black stones. And she said to the king, "I will play." The king was sure that he was going to win. He held out the bag, and Ma Sabe put her hand into the bag and took hold of 1 stone. Then she took her hand out of the bag and looked into her hand. "I am happy. I don't have to marry the king. I am free, and my mother has no more debts." And there, beside the deep river, Ma Sabe began to dance. She danced and she skipped and she turned and she dropped the stone into the river. And the king said, "What did you do?" "Oh, great king, I was so happy that I don't have to marry you, that I dropped the stone in the river." The king said, "How do we know which stone you took?" "Oh, I have an idea," said Ma Sabe. "Open the bag, take out the other stone, and then everybody will know the truth." At that moment, the king knew that Ma Sabe was wiser than him. She was cleverer than him. She had tricked him with her wisdom. And the king was ashamed. He was angry. And he climbed onto his elephant and he rode away, followed by his soldiers. And Ma Sabe called, "O great king, my mother and I are free, and we have no more debts. We are free." And Ma Sabe and her mother danced, and they danced, and they danced. That is the story of Wise Ma Sabe, as told by me, as told by Besan, who comes from Gaza in Palestine. What a beautiful story.